Welcome to Statesboro, Georgia on a spectacular Sun Belt college football Saturday afternoon as we step inside Paulson Stadium, where today the 4-2 Troy Trojans meet the 4-2 Georgia Southern Eagles. And good afternoon, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Danny Waugh. Danny, Troy coming off its biggest win in Coach Chip Lindsey's 2 seasons, a 38-10 victory at Arkansas State last Saturday. Backup quarterback Jacob Free led the way in place of the injured Gunnar Watson, and he'll get the start again today.
And he made history last week for Troy, the most passing yards by a quarterback making his first start. 419 yards and 2 touchdowns, looking for a repeat performance here against Georgia Southern this afternoon.
Meantime, Georgia Southern coach Chad Lunsford taking personal his team's 3-game losing streak in the series to Troy, relying heavily today on his seniors Shai Werts, Wesley Kennedy, and J.D. Key.
Well, with the Eagles running the triple option, these 3 are the ones leading the charge. Expect all of them to get their fair share of carries if they want to break that 3-game losing skid against the Trojans here today.
And Werts 57 yards away from becoming the Sun Belt Conference's all-time quarterback rushing leader. It's the Georgia Southern Eagles and the Troy Trojans' 20th all-time meeting dating back to 1934. Winner today picks up their 3rd Sun Belt win of the season. Opening kick is coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's honorary retaining.
You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN as we are just about set for the opening kickoff here at Paulson Stadium. The Troy Trojans at 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the Sun Belt, and 3rd in the East. Georgia Southern at 4-2 overall, 2-2, and 4th in the East. Chip Lindsey in his 2nd season as the Trojans head coach, 9-9, the 22nd head coach in Trojans history, and 2-1 on the road this season. They've won 3 of their last 4 games.
And making his 2nd stint here at Troy was the quarterback's coach back in 2010. And last season, at this point through the first 6 games, they were 3-3. Already had a better spot throughout the first 6 games here in 2020.
And Chad Lunsford in his 3rd full season as the Eagles head coach at 23-15. His Eagles 3-0 at home and coming off a 24-17 victory over South Alabama 2 Thursday nights ago.
And while Georgia Southern's have to be 4-2, Chad Lunsford talked about they could be easily 6-0, but also could easily be 1-5. But it's important to understand that they're going to get better week in and week out as they move along throughout the year.
Wesley Kennedy standing deep for the Georgia Southern Eagles, and Jack Martin has it teed up and ready to go for Troy. Martin, the sophomore out of Northview High School in Dothan, Alabama, approaches the ball, and we are underway in Statesboro. Fair catch is called for and made at the 14-yard line, so the Eagles will start on offense at the 25. And Shai Werts making his 42nd career start for the Eagles. Leads the team out. 5th-year senior out of Clinton, South Carolina. As we take a look at his numbers, he's completed right at 53% of his passes for 653. He's also rushed for 424.
And as we talked about, 56 yards away from being the Sun Belt all-time leading rusher as a quarterback. But he's also 3 touchdowns away from tying the all-time quarterback touchdown list in Georgia Southern history.
So the Eagles starting from the 25 with Kennedy and King behind him.
Already got some movement on the offensive line. It's going to be a false start on the Eagles.
False start. Offense, 75-yard penalty. First down.
It's on the right guard, Khalil Crowder.
Crowder, the redshirt sophomore out of Carrollton, Georgia, making his 5th career start here today. The only starter on that offensive line not in double-digit starts. By and large, a veteran group up there for the Georgia Southern Eagles, and it's 1st and 15 now from the 20. diamond formation in that backfield, and King gets the first handoff. No, Wirtz pitches instead to Logan Wright, and Logan Wright shoved out of bounds at the 29-yard line, picked up 9 on the play.
And while we talked about the primary running game with Wirtz, J.D. King, and Wesley Kennedy, there are other running backs for Georgia Southern that can get the job done. Logan Wright, one of them. Redshirt junior out of Jacksonville, great option read, and Wirtz with the pitch. And Wright able to bounce to the outside to get a couple extra yards.
Yeah, Wright came into the game, 26 carries, 136 yards, was on that Mayo Clinic Comeback Player of the Week nominee list last week. Coming back from a neck injury a year ago. Second down now and 6 from the 29. Same formation, Wirtz the keeper again, and now pitches to J.D. King this time, and King has the first down and more as he rumbles across the 40 and finally out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Terrence Dunlap, the cornerback, driving him out of bounds, but a first down for the Eagles.
You talk about Terrence Dunlap, defensive coordinator Brandon Hall talked about him wanting to be the guys to be alert in the cornerback spot, because normally it's going to be the front seven trying to make the stop in the running game, but Hall has to keep an eye, Dunlap has to keep an eye as well there on the outside making the tackle.
So 1st and 10 now for the Eagles at the 46-yard line. Wirtz, hands off right up the middle this time. Across the 50-yard line and a 6-yard, make that a 5-yard pickup for J.D. King, who came in as the Eagles' leading rusher, 102 for 564, 94 yards per game.
And offensive coordinator Bob DeBest talking about in order to get things going, communication has to start at the front. The center, Logan Langmeyer, has to be the guy to identify who's going to make the blitz up front. And getting those 4 or 5-yard plays are going to be consistent for Georgia Southern to move their way down the field.
So 2nd down and 5 from just across the 50-yard line. Murray goes in motion. Handoff goes to King, his 3rd carry of the ball game, and he crashes down to the 45, about a yard short of the first down.
We talk about all 3 running backs leading their fair share of carries. Last week against South Alabama, King had 15 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown against South Alabama.
3rd down and 1 from the 45. King, the high school star from Fitzgerald High School, started his career at Oklahoma State, transferred back to his home state, landed with the Eagles. Now 3 wides to the bottom of your screen. And King again, and King did not get the first down this time as Javon Solomon, the Bandit defensive end, tackled him shy of the sticks. It's to be 4th down and 1, and Danny, do you go for it here?
Well, you're across the 50-yard line. You got to make a statement early. Chad Lunsford talked about all week how this was personal for the Eagles to get a win over Troy. You got to make a statement early, and I see them going for it.
So 4th down and 1 from the 45. Eagles going for it right here. Eagles 2 of 7 on 4th down this season. And King, it's going to be close. I don't know that he got it. Depends upon the stop or the spot right there. He had to get to the 44, and I don't think he got it.
I don't think so either. King got hit hard at the line of scrimmage, so he may be short, but we'll have to take a closer look. They may bring the chains out.
Yeah, the ball is short of the 44-yard line. You see Shai Wirtz saying that he got it, but I don't think he did.
What a job up front by the Troy defense. They talked about eliminating the running backs inside and up the middle, and that's where J.D. King went, both on 3rd and 4th down. And I think they got him.
They stopped it. Wow, big stop by the Troy defense. Eagles had it 3rd and 1 and went for it twice at that 45-yard line and could not crack the 44. So the ball goes over on downs to Troy after a big defensive stop by the Trojans.
Just a big-time stop. The first couple of plays, the Eagles were able to get a couple of yards downfield, but the key 3rd and 4th down stops, especially from Javon Solomon, on the third down, and just great job from the fourth down play.
So 1st and 10 for Troy. Ball just shy of the 44-yard line. Jacob Free in there at quarterback, making his second start for the Trojans. Free fires, and the ball got batted down at the line of scrimmage. That was Rashad Bird, the linebacker, got his paws on it.
Rashad Bird, a preseason first-team all-defense Sun Belt Conference selection. Great stop.
You see Free's numbers on the season in limited action, was forced into duty in that Georgia State game that the Trojans lost when Gunnar Watson got hurt against the Panthers. Vidal with the carry, and Vidal gets stopped in his tracks at the 48-yard line. Tackle made by Ephraim Kitchen. It's going to be third down now.
And expect Free to throw the ball wherever he can. He threw over 7,000 yards in high school, was originally a Vanderbilt commit, and transferred to Northwest Mississippi Community College, was the backup for Troy last year, third string, and now finally having his moment here this season, especially after last week.
That was actually Zion McGee on the tackle for Georgia Southern. Now third down. Heavy rush. Free stands in there and fires complete to Eford, and Eford has the first down at the 39-yard line. Trey Eford with his 21st catch of the season. They'll move the sticks.
There you see again, Georgia Southern putting pressure in the box, and Rashad Bird got a hit on Free right before he got the ball out. Eford able to hang on and get the first down.
They go right back to Eford again, down to the 24-yard line as the Trojans go up-tempo. So 1st and 10 at the 24, and again the Trojans at the line of scrimmage, ready to go. Free, heavy rush, fires before he was hit and throws it out of bounds, looking for Reggie Todd over on the far side. Coverage by Darrell Baker.
And that's one thing Scott Sloan, defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, talked about, getting hits on the quarterback. You see right there, another hit right before he released the ball, right after he released the ball, forced the incompletion.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 24. Again, Troy playing fast. That's complete to Lacey, and Lacey gets clobbered at the 20-yard line. That was Orlando Lacey with his first catch of the season.
You talk about Troy with the hurry-up offense. This is how they ran over 30 plays in the first quarter against Arkansas State.
Third down, ball at the 20-yard line. Underneath, it is caught. Rogers going to be short of the first down at the 16-yard line, and now the Trojans are going to be faced with the fourth down.
Well, here's the thing. The Trojans are looking to go for a field goal here, but Evan Lagasse has been 0 for 3 in field goals 20 to 29 yards. And he's only made one field goal between 30 and 39 yards out of the 35-yarder last week.
He's missed 3 of his last 5. This will be a 33, 34-yarder right in the middle of the field. Whittemore is the holder. They put it down. The kick is up, and it is going to be no good. So Troy comes up empty. A missed 34-yard field goal as Lagasse's troubles continue. Georgia Southern back on offense when we get back. Georgia Southern back on offense after a missed opportunity by Troy in the 34-yard field goal miss. And the handoff, not a handoff, and stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Shy Wertz got blown up by Carlton Marshall.
And Carlton Marshall was the preseason Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year, and he's had an incredible season so far. Now it's 47 tackles, 6 tackle for loss, and what seemed to be a blown-up play on Georgia Southern's side.
Carlton Marshall, the former walk-on out of Mobile, Alabama, McGill-Tulane High School, making his 28th career start, his team leading 24th consecutive on the defensive side of the ball. 2nd down and long now for Georgia Southern. Wesley Kennedy touches it for the first time, and Kennedy going to get dropped for a loss. Del Pettis, the strong safety, and the Eagles going backwards.
And Troy lined that one up really well. They sent 5 up front. You saw the way they were able to bounce to the outside, and Pettis getting past the blocker in order to make the stop.
So back-to-back TFLs by Marshall and Pettis, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 16 for the Eagles.
We might see our first pass play here of the game from Shai Wertz.
King lines up next to him, the lone back in the backfield with Wertz. Heavy rush, Wertz steps up, and Marshall got a piece of him. Pardon me, not Marshall there, it was number 5. Getting a piece of him right there, and it's going to be 4th down. Will Cholo, the defensive tackle out of Atlanta, and 3 and out for Georgia Southern on their 2nd possession.
And how unique was it for all 3 defensive players that were preseason first team all Sun Belt Conference defense, Will Cholo, Carlton Marshall, and Del Pettis, making the key stops on defense for the Trojans, forcing a 3 and out.
So Anthony Beck on the punt for the first time today. Beck averaging 40.7 per kick. Going to hit at the 46, and Tez Johnson will take it and get dropped right away at the 47-yard line. Good coverage downfield by the Georgia Southern Eagles and Randy Wade. Troy back on offense for the 2nd time when we get back. Jacob Free back out there for the Troy Trojans after they drove into the red zone and failed to score their first possession.
Yeah, both teams with not the best start in their opening drive. Let's see if they can clean it up here, especially for Troy's 2nd drive of the game.
And that's one of the things that their offensive coordinator, Jacob Pugh, said they had to work on, and that's scoring once they get in the red zone. And Kalen Geiger with the catch, and he steps out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain.
And Kalen Geiger is going to be one of the key receivers for Troy. He already has 3 100-yard receiving games on the year, with his 3rd one being last week, had 8 receptions, 126 yards.
That was the 8th career 100-yard game for them in that victory over Arkansas State, 2nd down and 6. Play action, Free being chased and has to get rid of it. Great defensive pressure right there. The Georgia Southern crowd wants to get a flag for an intentional grounding.
Benz Josue.
Quarterback is outside the tackle box. The number 2 receiver is in the area.
And they're going to say that Free was outside the tackle box and got it out just in time. That's going to be a sigh of relief for the Trojans, because that would have been a big loss.
The crowd does not disagree here.
6 yards to go.
So 3rd down and 6 from the 49. 2nd time already today the Trojans have been on the Eagles' side of the 50. Heavy rush again from Raymond Johnson, throwing across the middle and incomplete. Trying to get the ball to B.J. Smith, and a 3 and out for the Trojans here on offense.
And the Eagles defense continues to do a tremendous job applying pressure to Jacob Free. Didn't look like they were going to blitz up front, a basic 3-4. And then those 2 middle linebackers in Bird and Raynard Ellis made their way up the middle to add pressure.
So Jack Martin on to punt here for the Trojans, and Caleb Hood is deep for the Eagles. And Martin, spiraling kick that Hood's going to let hit at the 10-yard line, and it's going to bounce out of bounds at the 7. So the Eagles with poor field position, Danny, for their 3rd possession.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing on what the Eagles do here on their 3rd offensive possession.
Well, it seemed they were moving the ball well on that first possession, giving the ball to J.D. King. They got stoned on that 3rd and 1 and went back to almost the same play again, got stoned again, and then in the 2nd possession they went in reverse.
And you can almost say it really started with the false start on the very first play of the game that really got the Eagles off their groove, even though they were to make a few plays downfield. Like you said, got stoned to the 3rd and 4th down rush by J.D. King.
So Wertz, 2 carries, -1 yards here, and 1 completion, -4 yards. So negative yards for Wertz here in the first quarter. Running option. Toss goes to King, and King got upended at the 5-yard line by Sean Sprawling, the spear.
And once again, Troy, with their multiple fronts on defense, makes it difficult for the Eagles to get past in the run game. There you see Sprawling just able to break through and make another tackle for loss.
That's their third TFL in the first quarter. So 2nd down and 11 now. Ball at the 6. Eagles trying to get their offense synced up here. Slow start in this first quarter at home, where Georgia Southern is 3-0 here at Paulson Stadium this season. Keeper Wirtz. Toss goes to Logan Wright, tries to bounce it outside, and he's going to be driven out of bounds at the 11-yard line. They'll spot it at the 12. That was Richard Jubinor making the tackle.
And what's so interesting about the defense from Troy, 5-man front, 5 guys in the middle level, waiting, not blitzing, waiting for that pitch on the outside to make another tackle.
Jubinor was the second guy to get there. Del Pettis the first, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Line to gain is the 17. They set up the screen for King, and King has the first down across the 20-yard line.
Great pass in the middle of the field. Normally when Georgia Southern goes for a pass, they like to go for the home run play. But Troy, knowing that, instead go to King, who makes a great little running back curl 5 yards up, has some space, and gets the first down to give the Eagles some breathing room.
Second first down of the game for the Eagles. Fresh set of downs from the 22-yard line. 10 minutes in, close to 11 minutes in here at Paulson Stadium. And King moves the pile forward to the 30-yard line, close to the 31, about a 9-yard pickup for J.D. King, who has gotten the bulk of the carries thus far. That was the 11th carry by a Georgia Southern rusher, and 7 of them have been J.D. King.
And now that they have some room to move the ball upfield, they're continuing to give it to King. And we haven't seen Wesley Kennedy here in this offensive set yet this drive. They've been going with Matt LaRoche along with Logan Wright with J.D. King.
Yeah, Kennedy just 1 catch for -4 yards so far today in this first quarter after having that big fourth quarter in their last game against South Alabama. Wirtz eludes the defender, but not Sprawling, but then dives forward and picks up the first down. Sprawling had him behind the sticks, and the second effort by Wirtz picks up the first down.
And you can't forget about Carlton Marshall, who almost made the play behind the line of scrimmage, but Wirtz was able to avoid that and get a couple yards for the first.
So a second first down for the Eagles on this possession, which started at their own 7-yard line. They've moved it out to the 33. 3 minutes left in this first quarter. A fast-moving, scoreless first quarter between these two teams after a 49-28 final a year ago at Troy. Wirtz holds on to it, picks up about 3 yards on the play. Carlton Marshall there to help get him out of bounds, along with Jaden McDonald. It's the top 2 tacklers on this Troy sideline.
And Brandon Hall talked about how Jaden McDonald is now at a comfort level, and it's good to have a guy that's consistent on defense and kind of the quarterback of the defense as well, leading the charge.
So 2nd down and 7 from just across the 35-yard line. The I formation behind Wirtz. And King gets a couple of yards on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and medium.
Now with being 3rd and 6, it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do if they go for another run or try to get a short pass up the middle again.
So ball lane on the 37-yard line. Eagles 1 of 3 on 3rd down so far today. 90 seconds left in this first quarter. Running option. Wirtz tosses to LaRoche, and LaRoche close to the first down and got it with the second effort. Had to get to the 43 and got to the 44, and a first down, their 3rd of this drive.
And And there's going to be a couple of times where Shy Werts might wait to the very last second to make that pitch on the option. And this time, Matt LaRoche getting his first carry of the game, gets the first down for Georgia Southern.
So 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. They've run 8 plays to move the ball 38 yards from their own 7 inside the final minute of this first quarter. And Logan Wright with a big hole right up the middle. Logan Wright down to the 35-yard line. Biggest gain of the day for the Georgia Southern Eagles comes from Logan Wright, the 4th-year junior out of Jacksonville.
And the Eagles using all options here in their running game. Just great job by Wright, breaks a couple of tackles. And the one unique thing for Georgia Southern is running down the clock. You see there under 30 seconds to go in the first. They don't want Troy to have as many plays with that hurry-up offense that they run.
Danny, he might have gone further had he not run into his own man. Might be the final play of this fast-moving first quarter. That was Gerald Green getting just his 3rd carry of the season. Star out of East Coweta High School in the Atlanta area. He picked up 3 on the play as the first quarter comes to a close. So 15 minutes complete here at Georgia Southern, but as the first quarter comes to a close, the Eagles putting together an impressive drive. They've gone 57 yards on 9 plays, and we'll pick up that drive when we come back and start the second quarter. Action around the Sun Belt today. ULM at Georgia State. Panthers already with a 42-14 lead in that one. Arkansas State leads Louisiana 6-0 at halftime. App State at Texas State starts in about 90 minutes tonight. South Alabama at number 15 and undefeated Coastal Carolina on ESPNU. Here, start the second quarter with the Eagles at the 33-yard line, and J.D. King gets his 9th carry of the ball game and picks up about a yard to the 31.
You know, the Sun Belt was the talk of college football to start this season, but the biggest story has been the emergence of Coastal Carolina, especially coming off of one of their best performances last week, 51-0 over Georgia State, 15th ranked in the nation. They were picked to finish 5th in the East Division of the Sun Belt, and proving all the doubters wrong.
Yeah, Eagles were tied with them 14-14 in the fourth quarter there before falling to the Chanticleers 28-14, and Troy will play host to Coastal Carolina at 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPNU next Saturday. 3rd down now and 7. And big carry there by Logan Wright, close to the first down. Let's see where they spot him out.
And one thing to pay close attention to, that block by J.D. King at the very end of that run may have been the reason why Logan Wright was able to get that first down. Great push. And now the Eagles with some great room.
5th first down of this drive for the Eagles. And they had picked up only 1 in their first 2 series prior to that. But the 3rd possession here for Georgia Southern has been their best thus far. It started at their own 7-yard line. 1st and 10 now from the 25. First pass of the game, second pass of the game, I should say, and it's complete inside the 20-yard line to Caleb Hood.
Pettis on the tackle on the outside. Another great small pass from Wirtz. Just gets it out to Caleb Hood for a few yards.
Fortunate that he didn't have a flag thrown on him right there. He didn't let up on the tackle as soon as they got out of bounds and continued and slung Hood out of bounds. Pickup of 8 on the play. 2nd down and a short 2 here for the Eagles at the 17. Hand off LaRoche. First down for LaRoche as he dives forward to the 11. And another first down for the Eagles. So whatever was going wrong in the first 2 series, they figured it out here on series number 3.
Well, I think Troy came in knowing that they had to stop J.D. King and Wesley Kennedy, and the Eagles noticed that early and switched things up, having Logan Wright and Matt LaRoche get a couple of carries early on.
Ball spotted at the 11. 1st and 10 for the Eagles in the red zone, where the Eagles have scored touchdowns 67% of the time. And Wirtz hit in the backfield and dropped by Marshall for a loss. And that's where typically the Georgia Southern offense gets in trouble, when you take that early loss in the downs and fall behind the sticks on second down like this.
Yeah, once again, a great five-man front from the Trojans, and Marshall just continuing to plummet his way through the offensive line for another tackle for loss.
That's his third tackle for loss already in this game. He's got 6 tackles in the first 19 minutes of this game. Second down and 14. The line to gain is the 2. Wirtz running option, got rid of it just in time, and J.D. King crashes through a tackle and down to the 6. Big, strong run by J.D. King.
Another great run by King. Chad Lunsford talked about how he is the difference maker, and more importantly, he's a yards after contact guy. So even though he may get hit once or twice, as you see right there, he'll continue to pound his way through to get as many extra yards as possible.
Brings up a 3rd down and 4. That was his 10th carry of the game already. 47 yards rushing. But a big 3rd down right here, where the Eagles are 3 for 5 on 3rd downs today. But they are 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. Wirtz going to the air, throws complete to LaRoche, and LaRoche will not pick up the first down as Pettis drives him out of bounds. And now we'll see if the Eagles try a field goal, and Rayner is trotting on the field.
Well, LaRoche was the man in motion in the backfield, and Wirtz going directly to him. Had some blockers on the outside, but wasn't able to get too far. And Alex Rayner, 6 of 8 in field goals this season. He's been 5 of 5 close up, between 20 to 39 yards. We'll see if he can remain that way.
This will be a 23-yarder with Anthony Beck, the punter, holding. And Ryan Langen is the snapper. Rayner, the redshirt freshman out of Harrison High School in the Atlanta area, same high school that produced Justin Fields. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 23-yard field goal by Alex Rayner, and Georgia Southern has the first lead of the game. Impressive drive, 87 yards, 17 plays, close to 11 minutes. Chad Lunsford's Georgia Southern Eagles up 3-0 on Troy. It's interesting this week, Danny. Not a lot of times do head coaches talk about making things personal, but this 3-game losing streak to Troy, not so much about Troy, but the fact that the Eagles had lost 3 in a row to any conference opponent really bothered him.
Right. He said it's not the Georgia Southern way. The last time that a team has beaten Georgia Southern in 4 straight years was Marshall back from 1993 to 1996.
That's Kalen Geiger from the 5-yard line. Nice return up to the 32-yard line. So a 27-yard return by Kalen Geiger gives Troy the ball at the 32-yard line. So now we'll see what the Trojans can do. 43 yards of total offense so far for Troy in this game. And one of the things that was of concern for Coach Pugh, the offensive coordinator for Troy, Coach Lindsey, the head coach for Troy, is when you get in a game with Georgia Southern, typically you have 12 to 15 possessions offensively in a game. In a game against Georgia Southern, it's cut to 9 or 12.
Yeah, and we talked about before how they had over 30 plays in the first quarter against Arkansas State. Not really the case here in the first quarter against the Eagles, with them running down most of the clock.
And this is just the 3rd possession for Troy after that 11-minute drive by the Eagles. Chewed up the rest of the first quarter, and the pass from Free sails out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
The offensive coordinator Ryan Pugh talked about the front 7 for Georgia Southern being very good, and the challenge starts with the offensive line trying to control the line of scrimmage and, most importantly, finish your blocks.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Danny. For the Georgia Southern Eagles, it's not necessarily about getting sacks today, because Troy does such an outstanding job of getting the ball out of there quick, but they do want pressure and hits on the quarterback.
Absolutely. Gunnar Watson already out, and Jacob Free coming in off of a hot start last week. You know, they want to have him feel the pressure. They don't want him to have a repeat performance.
So 2nd down and 10. Again, the Trojans playing without Gunnar Watson, who's missing this game back in his home state today. Free out of the pocket, fires across the middle and incomplete. Looks like Eford was the target there. Eford already has a couple of catches today, and now it's going to be 3rd down. And there is a flag down on the field line at the line of scrimmage on the 31.
Well, on that stop, you saw Kendrick Duncan there getting in the way.
Offside. Defense, number 57. 5-yard penalty.
So Gavin Adcock, the nose tackle, did get a little bit early on the pass rush, and so now it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, there was a moment right there with Adcock jumping the line of scrimmage. There was a bit of haltness on that snap.
So 2nd down and 5 now for the Trojans from the 36-yard line. Blitz is coming. They protect him. Free goes up top, far sideline, incomplete. Looking for Whittemore over on the far sideline, and step-for-step coverage right there on the play by Derek Canteen.
And it's so unique for the Georgia Southern secondary, considering they have so much youth out there on the field. Canteen being one of them, a redshirt freshman out of Evans, Georgia. He made some great stops last week against South Alabama, including at the final drive, preventing the Jaguars from getting the game-tying touchdown.
And let's face it, replacing Kendall Vildor and Monquavian Brinson from last year, two guys who were lockdown corners at that position for a number of years for Georgia Southern, has been a big challenge, but the coaches love what they've seen out of Canteen and Baker this year. 3rd down now. Free being chased from behind, going to sling it downfield for Todd, who cannot run under it. That was a strong throw on the run by Jacob Free, but it goes incomplete to 4th down.
He brought up Darrell Baker Jr. He played safety last season, moved back in the quarterback position. Free flinging it down, and also redshirt freshman Anthony Wilson out there covering Reggie Todd.
That was a drop-down sidearm throw on the run by Jacob Free, but good coverage by Georgia Southern downfield, and the Trojans have to give it up again. Martin on the punt again, and Hood retreating to the 7-yard line and taking it on the run. And Caleb Hood going to get dropped at the 14-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will go on offense. So Georgia Southern drove 87 yards the last time they had it. They'll start at the 14 this time around. And there's Wesley Kennedy. He's holding an ice pack, Danny, up to his jaw. We have not seen him outside of that first possession. I don't know whether he got hit in the teeth or the mouth.
It looks like he's holding also just a rag up to his mouth as well, and that could be the reason why Georgia Southern's gone with different running backs here on offense. And it'll be interesting to see if we see Kennedy here in this game moving forward.
Yeah, he has only one touch, and that was on that negative 4-yard pass play. And that perhaps was where he got hurt. But he's not been in the ball game since. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 14-yard line. Couple of fakes and works, drops back in the pocket, goes deep across the middle, intercepted at the 43-yard line. Pettis back inside the 30, cuts back across the field. He's got an open lane, and Pettis will take it back for a pick 6. Touchdown, Troy.
You know, we tried to get the inside scoop from Brandon Hall about how Troy's been able to score so many touchdowns on defense. They had 3 of them in the last 2 weeks, and now a 4th one here with Pettis. Wirtz had plenty of time. Great defense there. And with Pettis, that's his first interception on the year, and he takes it to the house. And great blockers as well. You can tell that Troy's been used to this for quite some while.
Lagasse on for the PAT after the pick 6 by Del Pettis. Yeah, Brandon Hall joked, he says, yeah, I've got a call on the sideline for when I want us to score a touchdown. No joking, though. That is the 4th for them. The pick 6 by Del Pettis goes 44 yards, and Troy on top 7-3. Del Pettis gets the pick 6, but it was Jaden McDonald who gets the assist with the quarterback pressure.
And there you see it right there, right before Wirtz threw. But also, you had 3 guys roaming around in the area and nowhere for Emil Smith to even make a play. It's a great catch, and once again, great blockers as Pettis was able to take it to the house for 6.
44-yard pick 6, and just like that, Troy, a team that has only 43 yards of total offense in the game, has the 7-3 lead. And here's the kickoff by Martin, and not returnable by Hood. He's going to take a knee. And the Eagles will bring it back out to the 25-yard line as they try to regroup. Here's a look at the Sun Belt standings. Number 15, Coastal Carolina, in action later on tonight, leading the East and undefeated, hosting South Alabama. And you see the importance for Troy. If they can win today and they host Coastal Carolina next week, Danny, they got a shot at a tie for first place in the conference with a win.
Absolutely, and Troy already off to a great start, playing well defensively. And what's unique is, well, you look over in the West, Louisiana 3-1. Their one loss came to Coastal Carolina a few weeks ago, back when they were ranked 21st in the nation.
Right now losing, however, to Arkansas State 6-0 at halftime. So 1st and 10 for Georgia Southern. Stunning turn of events with the pick six by Del Pettis. And Troy, despite not generating much offense, has the lead here with 9 minutes to play in the half. And again, the Troy defense comes up big. Antonio Showers in on that stop right there of Shai Wertz.
You're just seeing an increased amount of confidence from Troy after the pick six. Also, Wesley Kennedy has yet to come back in. So the Eagles going with multiple running backs to try and move their way through. They've already used J.D. King a lot already, 10 carries so far. We really haven't seen Shai Wertz gain any yards on a couple of quarterback runs.
Yeah,
5
Wertz,
carries, no yards at all.
Exactly. So 2nd down, that was another tackle for loss for this Troy defense. Wertz pitches it to Logan Wright, and Logan Wright gets dropped at the 32-yard line, but a nice gainer right there. That was Reddy Stewart, the corner, making the tackle.
And we talked about hits in the quarterback for Georgia Southern's defense. How about a hit right there from Jaden McDonald, who's made a couple of hits on Shai Wertz already throughout the first half. They got it out just in time for Logan Wright to move upfield and get a couple more yards.
Yeah, Logan Wright, the leading rusher for Georgia Southern in this game. That was his 7th carry as he goes over 50 yards. 3rd down and 2. Line to gain is the 35. Play action, pass complete to Murray, and Murray will be driven out of bounds at the 39, picks up the 1st down. So Malik Murray with his team-leading 11th catch moves the sticks for Georgia Southern.
And we know with triple option that the Eagles run, you don't have many pass plays, but the Eagles do have a couple of guys they can rely on. Malik Murray, one of them a redshirt senior out of Duluth, Georgia.
Played at Peachtree Ridge High School. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 39-yard line. That was the 8th first down for Georgia Southern in this game. Troy has only 2. And Georgia Southern has triple the yards on offense that Troy has, but they trail on the scoreboard. Wertz tosses. That's Gerald Green. Again, the young star out of East Coweta getting a couple of carries here in the first half to match his season total. He had only 2 carries for 9 yards coming into the game.
And Bob the Best once again talking about famine, feast. Being very patient on a couple of these running plays. 4-yard plays are okay. If they get 3, you got to go out there and get 5 the next time.
The Eagles averaging 4.4 yards per play so far today. 2nd down and 6. J.D. King with a big hole. Stiff arms Stewart, and then Stewart's going to get flagged. Stewart got stiff-armed in the helmet and took exception to it. And now things get a little testy over on that sideline as Dowdell steps in to defend his running back.
There's always something about playing Georgia Southern in Paulson. We saw a lot of chippiness last week against South Alabama. And Georgia Southern talked about having that sideline juice and not trying to go overboard, but on that time, after the brutal stiff arm from J.D. King, Troy reacted, and there you see Aaron Dowdell sticking up for his teammate.
Yeah, J.D. King with a legal stiff arm to the helmet, and then Reddy Stewart with an illegal body slam over on the sideline.
The play is a 1st down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 18, 15 yards out of the run, 1st down.
So that will push the ball inside the 40-yard line for Georgia Southern.
Let's take a look at this. J.D. King was a weightlifting champion in high school, and there you see Stewart just let his emotions get the best of him once the play was over.
And that'll be the first penalty on Troy in this game, but a costly one. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line for Georgia Southern. 23-yard field goal from Alex Rayner. The only point so far today for the Eagles. Murray goes in motion. Handoff, J.D. King runs right into the teeth of that defense and got stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Again, that Troy defensive front playing very well today.
Yeah, it's been Troy's defense that's kept them in. I mean, only a 7-3 game, and the touchdown from Troy came from an interception by Del Pettis, a pick 6. And that's going to have to be the goal, considering that Georgia Southern stays out there on the field for so long, running time off the clock.
Eagles have held the ball for close to 17 minutes, Troy for less than 4. Wirtz pitches to Green too close, ball fumbled forward out of bounds. And now Stewart mixing it up with Darion Anderson over on the sideline as well. They didn't throw a flag that time, but they were kind of in a wrestling match over there.
Yeah, it's going to continue to get physical. You know, it's not really much of frustrations from Troy.
Backward pass. Ball went out about forward. It'll be a 3rd down.
You see Stewart and Darion Anderson grabbing a hold of each other's jerseys. The fumble forward actually works in favor of Georgia Southern. They spotted at the 28-yard line, so they gained yards on the play. But that was a short pitch that Gerald Green wasn't quite ready for.
Yeah, and you see right there, Wirtz is trying to get it out there as quick as possible. May have been too close, could have kept himself.
It's really interesting with this offense just how precise you need to be and how important spacing is right there. Wirtz and Green did not have the proper spacing. And a timeout called by Troy. So on 3rd and 4, the Trojans burn their first timeout of the half. And this takes us back to what Coach Chad Lunsford was telling us this week is, look, we have to possess the ball. Well, Georgia Southern has done that very well with a 21-minute and 9-second time of possession. And they've done that, but he said we can't just possess the ball and hold the ball. We have to score points when we do.
Yeah, he talked about how they have to execute and play their very best game in order to beat Troy. And we've already seen a couple of mishaps from the Eagles on offense, really starting with that false start on Khalil Crowder. Once that happened, it took some time before Georgia Southern really got things going on offense, and it seems like when they're taking 2 steps forward, they're taking 3 steps back, because once they make a couple positive plays, you have the interception, you have the 4th down stop, you have the fumble that luckily went out of bounds. There's a couple of things they have to tune up in order if they want to be able to get some points on the board.
Danny, the Eagles have run 34 plays to Troy's 13. As you pointed out, Troy ran 32 plays in the first quarter last week in their 38-10 win at Arkansas State. So Georgia Southern doing a great job of playing defense with their offense, holding the ball, but ultimately you got to cash in here, and it's very important, I think, for the Eagles to get 7 on this drive.
Yeah, they got to get in the end zone. They can't settle for a field goal at this point.
So it's 3rd down and 4, and this is a big 3rd down conversion coming up. The Eagles are 4 of 7 on their 3rd downs today and 43% for the season. And again, Wesley Kennedy has played very little today after being the star 2 weeks ago, or last week against South Alabama 2 Thursday nights ago. And he's banged up on the sideline right now. King gets the handoff. He picks up the 1st down. So King got 1 more yard than he needed to get as he gets stopped at the 23. That was Craig Slocum making the tackle for Troy.
And that's the unique thing about J.D. King. We talk about being a yards after contact runner, and he's gotten the ball so many times. He's pretty much going to be the 3rd down running back here on out for the Eagles.
13 carries for 60 yards, averaging 4.5. If you're a running back, this is the kind of day that you love. You're getting fed the rock all day long. 1st and 10, ball at the 23. So Wright and LaRoche in the backfield, and Wright's going to get the handoff. He got just a couple of yards on the play. And again, O'Shea Fletcher and Darion Anderson taking swipes at each other right in front of the officials, and no flag dropped.
That's the one thing I noticed there on the outside. You had that battle between Fletcher and Anderson. I mean, just look here. Handoff to Wright, was able to trying to get through on the gap.
And Danny, I think what happens with the wide receivers out there, typically wide receivers go out for passes, but in the Georgia Southern offense, they're being physical and they're blocking, and cornerbacks are not used to that.
Yeah, you got to be physical if you want to get past these Eagle receivers, because you might have a running back bounce to the outside.
Blitz is coming by Marshall. Georgia Southern picked it up, but J.D. King only gets a couple more yards on the play, down to the 19, going to bring up 3rd down. And King is slow to get up. So with Kennedy already on the sideline, now King has trouble getting off the grass.
Pointing to his left knee.
That's not good. The Eagles have already had to run a steady diet of Logan Wright, Matt LaRoche, and Gerald Green so far today. And we've seen Jalen White, the freshman, on the kick return team with Kennedy out as well. So they've got 6 guys left, listed as running backs on their depth chart, and they've used all 6 of them today.
Well, here's the unique thing. A few years ago, the starting right. Well, we'll talk more about it after the break here.
So while they tend to J.D. King, we'll step aside. Well, here's how J.D. King got hurt on that prior play, and he has been taken to the medical tent, and it doesn't look good.
No, not at all. And maybe the way that he went down or the way he made that cut.
Looks like it might have been more of a non-contact injury where the knee just gave out on him. It was not necessarily hit. So now 3rd down and 7. And the Eagles playing now without J.D. King and Wesley Kennedy. They throw a screen pass to Logan Wright, and he gets dropped at the 18-yard line. Good defense there by Marshall and Robertson, and now it looks like the Eagles have to try another field goal attempt.
Yeah, things just did not go the way of the Eagles that time. Another short pass from Wirtz finding Logan Wright, but once again, Carlton Marshall and K.J. Robinson on the stop. So this is not what the Eagles want, but they're going to have to settle for it.
35-yard field goal attempt here by Rayner. He already hit a 23-yarder today. Beck the holder, Langen the snap, and the kick is up, and it is going to be good as Rayner improves to 8-10 on the season.
So here's
and it's 7-6.
Here's the unique thing, Matt. At the beginning of last season for Georgia Southern, the starting running backs were Matt LaRoche and also Logan Wright. And then throughout the year, J.D. King got more comfortable with the offense. Wesley Kennedy started making big plays, and they went to those 2 guys throughout the rest of the season. And Kennedy and King started this season, but now with Kennedy out and J.D. King out, it looks like the Eagles are going to go back to Wright and LaRoche, who were also nicknamed Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah, it looks like that's what we're going to have to do. 850 yards of rushing now on the sidelines for the Georgia Southern Eagles with the injuries to King and Kennedy. And Jacob Free in his second start after throwing for over 400 yards last week in the win against Arkansas State has been held to 40 yards passing so far today, 5 of 12.
We've had plenty of rest on the sideline, and with 2:28 left to play in the first half, expect Troy to try to take it downfield, hopefully go for a touchdown rather than a field goal to keep Georgia Southern within it.
With 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half, the Trojans have held the ball for only 3 minutes and 47 seconds and run 13 plays. Kalen Geiger dives up to the 35-yard line, and that's where Troy will put the ball in play.
While Troy has had a lot of rest on the offensive side, so has that Eagles defense. So it'll be unique to see how both sides come out.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen a time of possession as lopsided as the one I'm looking at right now. 23 minutes and 45 seconds for Georgia Southern to Troy's 3 minutes and 47 seconds.
I don't think I've seen it either.
I've seen some lopsided TOPs, but nothing like that. So 1st and 10 for Troy at the 35-yard line. Let's see if they can keep their offense on the field for a while now. And Vidal gets the carry, just a couple of yards on the play right there for the former Marietta, Georgia high school star. Helped lead the Blue Devils to their first state championship since 1967 back in December.
Yeah, Kimani Vidal has been a great dual threat.
Free throws it up for grabs, trying to connect with Eford again. Incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
I mean, even if Troy holds on to the ball for the rest of this second quarter, overall they would have possession under 6 minutes in the first half.
Well, Jacob Free had completed close to 67% of his passes against Georgia State and Arkansas State, but today he has misfired on 8 of his 13 attempts. 3rd down. Free with a pocket, stands in there, and complete at the 49-yard line to Eford, despite a big hit by Duncan.
I was about to say, I'm surprised that Eford was able to hang on to the ball, because as soon as it went into his hands right here, you take a look, and Kendrick Duncan right there on the hit.
Free fires again in the middle. That's complete to Tez Johnson. Johnson running free and finally dropped at the 18-yard line by Wilson. And just like that, the Troy Trojans are in the red zone.
And this is exactly why the Eagles wanted to take so much time as they did on offense.
Georgia Southern burns a timeout as the Trojans go up-tempo.
It's almost like you have to. You get 2 bang-bang plays down the field like that, and you got to take a moment to regroup.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If Troy scores a touchdown right here, Georgia Southern would have dominated the game really offensively from a stat standpoint, the total yard standpoint, the time of possession standpoint, the play standpoint, and they'll be down a touchdown.
And you know, it's so unique. Georgia Southern lead is second in the conference in time of possession, almost 32 minutes per game. There you see the 2 big plays.
That was Eford, and then Tez Johnson right there on a slant across the middle. They got him matched up with a linebacker. They had Tez Johnson matched up with Chris Harris, the linebacker. That's exactly what you want. You want to get that wide receiver isolated on that linebacker. He's going to beat him every time, and that's exactly what they did there.
3 receivers on the right side. You might expect Jacob Free to go that way, or could go for the handoff to Vidal.
And flags come out before the play can be run, and we're going to have illegal procedure here on Troy.
False start. Offense, 65. 5-yard penalty.
That's going to be on the center.
Yeah, Dylan Bradshaw. Bradshaw making his 20th start today. So now 1st and 15. Line to gain is the 9. Still plenty of time for Troy in this half. Eford in motion. They're going across the middle, and Khalil McClain can't make the grab. Free letting too much. He was open. He had broken open the coverage from Canteen, and he couldn't squeeze it in there to him.
There was a moment there before McClain got open where Canteen got him to slow up a bit. If he would have been a straight route, that could have been 6.
McClain, one of those players on that Troy sideline, playing back in their home state here today. He's from Fairburn, just in the Atlanta area. Heavy rush. Free gets it out of there, complete to Geiger. Geiger's first catch, I believe, as he is tackled at the 16-yard line. Make that the second catch for Geiger. The first went for 4 yards. It's 3rd down and 9. Troy again going fast. Heavy rush. They pick up the blitz. They still come after him. Free throws it up for grabs into the corner of the end zone, incomplete.
And once again, The interior 7 for the Eagles, applying pressure on free. You saw the hit from Chris Harris prior to the throw before. And this time, just too much in the box. And Free had to throw it away.
They go back to Lagasse here. He's already missed a 34-yarder today. And Lagasse has missed 4 of his last 6 attempts. This is a 35-yarder. And it is up, and it is good this time. So Lagasse puts it through from 35 yards and extends the Troy lead to 10-6.
Well, even on special teams, the Eagles almost got a block on that kick, running through on the outside, but Lagasse able to knock one down. That's got to be a sigh of relief. He did a 35-yarder against Arkansas State, and coming in after the first series, missing that first field goal, able to bounce back.
So a 10-6 lead for Troy here with 65 seconds left in the first half, and there's J.D. King, and that is a sad sight for Eagles fans right there. He's on the crutches. We do not have a diagnosis to exactly what the knee or what the injury is, and it looks like, it's hard for me to tell from here, it looks like he's got an ice pack on that left leg.
That's not what you want to see if you're a Georgia Southern fan at all.
Well, also, you hate it for the kid. I mean, he's a senior. The good news is, if it is something very serious, as a senior, he's got another chance if he wants to have a senior year next year.
Yeah, Chad Lunsford talked about that. A couple of guys that may want to come back, a couple that may want to just finish out their collegiate career, move on to the next phase of their life. They don't really have the answers right now, so they're just focusing just on this season. But it's just one thing you don't want to see, and you hate to see, with J.D. King out for the game and uncertain on how much longer he will be out following today.
So Dexter Carter is now deep, along with Caleb Hood for this kickoff by Martin. And Hood will grab it about 7 yards deep in the end zone and take a knee. And so 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining in this first half. The Eagles will put the ball in play from the 25-yard line.
Well, they have 2 timeouts, so they can, with a couple of good passes, could try to go for one more field goal before the half ends, or try to go and find the end zone.
It'll be interesting to see how they approach this. Of course, Troy is probably thinking pass as well, which makes it a great opportunity for Georgia Southern to run the ball here.
Absolutely.
Try to get a big gainer on the ground. So ball at the 25-yard line. And Wirtz going to the air, heavy rush. He gets it out quickly to Hood, who steps out of bounds at the 31 and picked up 6 on the play. That was the second catch of the game for Hood.
And while the Eagles are known for the triple option, they can go to a spread option at some points, as well as they're doing so a 4 wide.
That took only 4 seconds off the clock. Back, same area, caught by Darion Anderson for a first down at the 45-yard line.
And he's got to beat himself up with that. The cornerback wasn't on him as much. And you see, he had to dive out. If he would have kept his footing, that could have been for more yards.
5th catch of the season for Anderson. Now Wirtz going to take off and run and slide after a pickup of 1. So the clock is going to be moving there. They're going to have to get back to the line quickly.
Looks like they're telling him to spike it on the side, so they're just to run the same play.
Second down, clock burning now. Wirtz spins out of the rush and heads to the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 45. A lot of time off the clock. Now just 24 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, you can tell they wanted to save those timeouts to when they got closer down the field. So instead of calling a timeout after the slide by Wirtz, they decided to go for another quick play, and Wirtz was able to get out of the way, breaking out of the pocket, and wisely running out of bounds to stop the clock.
So 3rd down and 8. Probably got to get another 25 to 30 yards to be in prime field goal range here for Rayner. His long for the season is 41 in the season opener against Campbell. Heavy rush, Jubinor gets after him and gets the quarterback sack. Richard Jubinor with the quarterback sack, his 3rd of the season. And now it's going to be 4th down, and that'll kill any chance, in all likelihood, that the Eagles will get any more points in this half.
And I think at this point you got a punt. There you see Juvenile able to get past Brian Miller. And
that'll end the half.
Yeah, they'll just let the clock run out. Take no chances. Go into the locker room, regroup, and see how you go about the second half.
Well, a lot of running up and down the field, a lot of yardage for Georgia Southern in that first half, but only 2 field goals. And Troy with a couple of big plays with a 10-6 lead as we head to the locker room here in Statesboro. Back in Statesboro, halftime, Troy leading Georgia Southern 10-6. Matt Stewart along with Danny Wan. Danny, I think the big story here in this game is despite the fact Georgia Southern has held the ball close to 25 minutes, meaning the Troy defense has been on the field for close to 25 minutes. They've given up only 2 field goals.
Yeah, Georgia Southern unable to really get anything going, just resulting in 2 field goals, and then you had the 4th down stop, the pick 6 as well. It's really been a game of defense throughout the first half, and luckily the pick 6 by Del Pettis really had been the primary play that's been about this first half.
Yeah, you talked about the pick 6. That's the only touchdown that has been scored in the game. A 44-yard interception return for touchdown by Del Pettis. So these 2 teams that came in, both of them averaging, over 25 points per game, have not gotten the ball in the end zone offensively. It's been a story of the defense.
Well, that's kind of what was expected. Chad Lunsford for Georgia Southern talked about how this was going to be a battle, how it was going to be a war, and we're seeing that out here so far in the first.
Stick around when we come back. Art Berger sits down with new Eagles AD Jared Benko. That's coming up next here at halftime where the Trojans lead 10-6.
Jared, talk about when you grew up here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And what led you to attending the University of Georgia?
I used to write handwritten letters, all the time, and I'd write them to like professional baseball players and other people for autographs. And the other letters I would write would be, to GMs and ADs about how to get in the profession. And so early on, in fact, I would say probably when I was a junior in high school, I think it's when I had my first interview trying to work for Claude Felton at Georgia in the sports communications office. When you added about convenience, opportunity to work in athletics already, and they had a degree program that I was interested in, it was an easy sell. And so I wanted to do statistics. Like I love math. I was interested in like the Moneyball before it was cool, right? And so I went in to do statistics thinking I was going to do like run the stat books and stuff for teams and look at numbers and stuff. The way I've always looked at it is I have a strong faith. I always feel like God's going to position me where He needs me to be to glorify Him. And so I knew college athletics I felt like was a calling. I didn't really know, yes, I wanted to be an AD. I had no clue how to get there. I think that first job at Georgia probably helped me start putting the puzzle pieces together of a potential path. And so to me, I felt like it was a tremendous training ground to prepare me for a future in athletics. But I would share with you what prepared me for this role at Georgia Southern was just best practices, because in my opinion, the SEC is a preeminent conference in the country. And when you have a preeminent conference in the country, you're also working with some of the best people in the country. Each place I went to, I had progressive responsibility, both while I was there, but also when I left those jobs and went to other ones. So to me, I felt like, hey, if I have to have 25 tools in the tool belt, roughly speaking as an analogy, to be an AD, by the time I left Mississippi State, or I should say at least interviewed for this job at Georgia Southern, I had all the 25 tools.
Talk about your plans and goals for Georgia Southern. What do you hope to see from the athletic department, from the university, and yourself?
So 3 things I talk about all the time: academic, athletic, and inclusive excellence. 3 things right out of the gate. So I would share with you, going back to the press conference, we talked about embracing history. And I would argue in the last 40 years, Georgia Southern has more history than anybody else in the country from an athletic standpoint. And the second thing was innovation. Everything we do is going to be innovative. I want our leaders on our staff to be constantly thinking about, what have we missed? What can we do better? And so to me, when you think about 17 sports, we want to be good in everything. And when I say be good, it's not good, I'm talking about being excellent. And the last piece too, we've already touched on it a little bit just with our staff earlier today, but a diversity inclusion is really important to us. And so if you think about, well, what does that mean? Ultimately, I want to provide a place and help foster a place where our student athletes feel inclusive and they feel comfortable and that their differences are embraced here.
Back at halftime, Troy up on Georgia Southern 10-6. Matt Stewart joined by Danny Waugh here at Paulson Stadium. It's been a story of defense. It all started on Georgia Southern's first possession when they got stoned on 4th down.
Yeah, and you see here the comparisons. The Eagles have, like we said, dominated time of possession for the most part in the first half. So they're going to have more rushing yards and total yards and first downs and everything else. But like you said, Matt, it's been about the defense throughout this game. Starting from the Eagles' first drive, J.D. King was stopped on 4th and 1. And then just great play by Carlton Marshall for Troy. He has 6 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, continues to be the driving force. As we said before, he's the preseason Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year and showing that for the Trojans.
Well, let's take a look at those highlights. You mentioned it. 5 total tackles for loss for the Trojans in the first half and a big quarterback sack.
And there you see right there, 4th and 1. J.D. King just didn't get there, and it just continued as the first half rolled along. There you see Carlton Marshall, tackle for loss, and great reads by the multiple fronts from Troy. But Georgia Southern defense done well too, but here's the big play. Wirtz had plenty of time to let it fly and plenty of space, or not. There's plenty of guys around for Troy to make
that late
the interception.
pressure there by Jaden McDonald forced him to get it up there maybe a little bit quicker than he wanted to, but it was double coverage, and Pettis turned that into a 44-yard pick six for only touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, for the most part, there's been field goals. The Eagles have had some chances, but Alex Rayner's been the one to hit 2 field goals for them. And how about Evan Lagasse missing the first field goal in the first possession for the Trojans, but bouncing back and getting a field goal late?
Hey, and Georgia Southern's played good defense too. They've got 7 quarterback pressures. They have not given up an offensive touchdown, but here at halftime, the Trojans are the ones with the 10-6 lead. We'll come back and start the second half in just a moment. Start of the second half, Troy on top of Georgia Southern 10-6. Wondering what the messages might have been from these 2 head coaches. No doubt both of them happy with the way their defenses have played, but maybe not so much with their offenses.
And I think that's what the message is. The offense need to turn it up here in the second half on both sides. You know, we just haven't seen much of Troy's offense throughout this game, but they get the ball to start the second half. So you might see them try to keep that hurry-up offense going downfield to get a score up, just to try to apply some pressure. And for Georgia Southern, you know, they've had some good plays, but it seems like they're just playing in between the 20s right now, unable to find the end zone for a touchdown. They got to turn that around, especially now with still Wesley Kennedy out. J.D. King is out. He is no longer dressed. He's in crutches on the sideline. So it's going to be up to Shireworth along now with Logan Wright and Matt LaRoche. And there you see J.D. King right there, something you don't want to see, but
that's a bad look right there for Georgia Southern Eagles fans, and also for J.D. King, the local star here who came back to his home state to play for the Georgia Southern Eagles, and here in his senior season with a big brace on his left leg and having to be supported by crutches. So he's obviously not coming back today. Who knows about the rest of the season? Doesn't look good. But Wesley Kennedy's the guy. He's got a tooth injury. That's the official report, as he sustained some kind of tooth injury. He has not played since the first series. The Eagles desperately need offense. As you can tell, they have only 2 field goals. Kennedy might be a guy they got to rely on and say, guy, you got to get back in there. We are hurting right now.
Well, it's going to be a second half of mental toughness on both sides. So it'll be exciting to see how it plays out.
So here we go. Dylan Lewis has it teed up and ready to go for the Georgia Southern Eagles. And the 2 speedsters, Geiger and Todd, standing deep for Troy as we start the third quarter here at Paulson Stadium. And they kick it away from Geiger. It's going to glance out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, so the penalty will bring it out to the 35-yard line for Troy.
And, you know, I would not be surprised if Troy out the gate goes.
Ball replace 35-yard line. First down.
If they go out with a deep ball to start, because some of those passes leading up to the field goal before halftime were down the field 15-plus yard plays.
Well, Jacob Free, their quarterback, subbing in for the injured Gunnar Watson. I know he's disappointed he didn't get to play in his home state here. Watson from Taylor County, Georgia. Would have dearly loved to be back playing in his home state today, but he's out, has been out the last couple of weeks. And Jacob Free, 8 of 18 for 91 yards in the first half. And they'll start on the ground. They had only 2 rushing plays in the entire first half, so they start the second half with a handoff to B.J. Smith.
And both of those rushing plays were to Kamani Vidal, but we see B.J. Smith, the redshirt senior. He was last season's preseason Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year, had the red shirt, suffering a season-ending injury, and it was an uphill battle just for him to get back on the field here this year.
Second down, and B.J. Smith goes in motion. Free looks to the other side and fires complete to Geiger, and Geiger taken down at the 41-yard line.
And here's an option we might see from Troy, going with short passes, being tactical, knowing that they won't have as much time with the ball.
Third down, and B.J. Smith picks up the first down. Quinn Williams in on his second consecutive tackle as B.J. Smith is dropped at the 48. And again, the Trojans, as they did in the first half, go up-tempo here to try to keep the Eagles defense off balance, and the pass gets patted down at the line of scrimmage as the Eagles continue to get great pressure. As I mentioned at halftime, they had 7 quarterback pressures on Free in that first half.
Here you see once again they load the box, and great job by Raymond Johnson freeing up space for Rashad Bird, and Johnson also getting his hand up to bat down the pass.
That was a super job by Raymond Johnson. He was being held on the play and still was able to bat down the pass. Second down and 10. They'll throw it to B.J. Smith, looking for a block out here. Going to be dragged down from behind by Raynard Ellis.
You saw on that time the Eagles did not blitz, just had the 3 men on the line going up. And with Free seeing that, went for the screen pass to Smith, and Smith did all he can to bounce out to the outside to gain any yards. He didn't get any.
Third down and 10. Trojans 3 of 7 on third downs today. They are 46% on the season, so well below that number this afternoon. Free across the middle and tipped away at the last moment by Anthony Wilson, who had a shot at the interception. Great play by the redshirt freshman out of Columbia, South Carolina. It's fourth down, and the Trojans going to have to give it up.
Well, it seemed like on that play they had trips right in. Looking at the route, they weren't trying to go for a deep pass, just trying to go over, but Free didn't get high enough to find his man, and Anthony Wilson beating himself up, knew he almost had the interception.
Jack Martin, 2 punts for 50.5 yards so far today. This is his third attempt as he kicks it away from Hood. He's going to hit it at the 21 and kick inside the 10, and Troy's going to down it, or did they? Did they keep it out of the end zone? Looks like they did. They down it at the 1. Great punt coverage by Troy that time to pin the Eagles at the 1-yard line.
And once again, just great awareness, getting the ball away from Hood, like you said, and that ball bounced, and the urgency from Troy to keep that ball from getting in the end zone. And this is going to be a really challenging series for the Eagles.
Danny, the execution, that thing took a hard ricochet at the 21 and went 20 yards downfield before they downed it at the 1. I mean, that thing was smoking hot fast. They had to bat it back to keep it from going in the end zone. But a super job by Troy right there, and now the Eagles 99 yards away from the end zone. Logan Wright crashes out and gets about 3 on the play. That was T.J. Harris making the tackle. Harris, another one of these Georgia kids on that Troy roster, starred at Lee County High School, perennial power in 6A in this state.
This is going to be tough. You know, the multiple fronts from Troy have already done a good job keeping the Eagles from running up the middle like that. So it'll be unique to see if the Eagles can get a first down and move the ball upfield.
Second down, handoff goes to LaRoche, and LaRoche maybe gets a yard on the play. Carlton Marshall making his 7th tackle of the game. He He is the epitome of a tackling machine. What a great story he has been. No offers coming out of high school. Walked on at Troy, has become one of the best defenders in the Sun Belt Conference.
And slowly making his way up the ranks in Troy history on the defensive side.
He's the kind of player that you just love to pull for. He's not a big guy. 5'9", 216. Sticks his helmet in there and makes tackles all day long. Third down now. Pitch goes to right close to the sticks. Let's see where they step him out at the 10-yard line. I think he's going to be short. Going to be a yard short as he goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
And you're going to have to, well, say you're going to have to punt it away, and here comes the punt team
Look,
out
you got to
now.
punt it.
Yeah, you got to punt.
At the 10-yard line, 4th and 1, you got to punt it.
But here's the thing. Anthony Beck is a great punter for Georgia Southern. You know, we saw the great bounce on the side of Troy, but for Beck, he has all the free space to just kick it down as far as he can. You'll be surprised on how deep Anthony Beck can send the ball down.
Beck has one 38-yard punt so far today. And he booms it out of there. Tez Johnson's going to field it, got hit before he touched the ball. Flags are out. And this is going to be a penalty on Georgia Southern.
Hit the back of the helmet of an Eagle player before it even got to the returner.
So this is going to be a big penalty on the Eagles, and it's going to give the Troy Trojans great field position. So what's happened here early in this second half is we've gotten into a field position game, and it's decidedly in Troy's favor right now.
And with the penalty, it'll add some extra yards for Troy. And they'll be in position to at least get a field goal, if anything.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team, number 6. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Wow, that's going to put the ball perhaps inside the 40-yard line. So we'll take a timeout here as Troy will have it inside the 40 when we get back. Chad Lunsford's team had committed only 2 penalties in the first half, but their first one here in the third quarter is a big one.
Yeah, you see here and take another look. That one just went off the helmet of Najee Thompson.
And then he interfered with Tez Johnson trying to catch the punt in a big 15-yard penalty that gives Troy the ball 1st and 10 at the Georgia Southern 37-yard line. Vidal on the carry, tackled by Rashad Bird as Kamani Vidal gets about 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Well, I think the defense knows that it's going to be all on them to really make these key stops, considering that Georgia Southern's offense just hasn't been that productive, even though they've had the ball so long in the first.
Only 108 yards of offense so far for Troy in this game. They average close to 400 a game. Free passes, it's complete underneath. That goes to Lacey. Lacey with his first 2 catches of the season here today. And now it's going to be 3rd down and about 4.5.
You see here once again, Free got it out in time. Lacey on the slant coming in. Made a good catch.
3rd down, we'll call it 4. Line to gain is the 27. Early 3rd quarter. Troy up by 4. Looking to add. Free fires. That's complete to Whittemore and a 1st down inside the 25. Canteen making the tackle, but Whittemore with the 1st down catch.
Another quick slant route, and you saw the Eagles adding pressure. They sent 6 on the blitz.
Free, given time, guns it in the middle, inside the 10-yard line to Geiger and down to the 4. Kalen Geiger with perhaps the biggest catch of the game for this Troy offense. They've got it 1st and goal to go. And again, they want to speed up and run a play here. Handoff, Vidal, and down to the 1 and stop shy of the goal line. And again, Troy wants to line up now and go. 2nd down and goal. And quarterback keeper Free's not going to get there. He got jammed up behind the pile, had no room to run, And then McGee came in from behind and pulled him backwards. Now it's going to be third down.
Yeah, I understand with Troy's hurry-up offense trying to catch the Eagles' defense off guard, but when it's 2nd and 1, you're going to take your time there for a moment. Try to go for a quick sneak, and now it's a waste of a play. You're back an extra yard, and now you got to figure out what you're going to do here.
I agree with you totally on that. 3rd down and goal from the 2. They rushed it there when they had no need to. Free, springing out to his right, throwing, incomplete. Trying to squeeze it into a tight spot right there to Vidal. And Canteen on the coverage. Now it's 4th down.
Canteen's done a great job on the end zone defense. There you see right there, good coverage, gets a handout. And
they're going to go for a field goal here.
Well, points are scarce at this point, and you want to be aggressive, but at the same time, a field goal here does make it a one-possession game no matter what.
This is a huge win defensively for Georgia Southern if they hold them to a field goal. So Lagasse on, and we've already enumerated his troubles today. This is a 20-yard field goal attempt. It's up and it's good. And Troy extends the lead to 13-6 with a 19-yard field goal. But that is a huge victory defensively for Georgia Southern right there to keep Troy out of the end zone. Troy now on top after getting a field goal, but a big win for Georgia Southern. This was the 2nd down play, and they rushed it there.
Yeah, I feel like there was no need to do that. I understand trying to catch him off kilter and go for a QB sneak, but you're already at the 1, and you could have had some time to at least just have an extra play, and that really changed things on that drive. And that is a small victory for Georgia Southern, holding them down to just a field goal.
No doubt about it. That's a play where you take a moment, maybe come up with a better play than the quarterback keeper right there. And it worked to Georgia Southern's advantage as Troy had to settle for a field goal. Again, we've had only 1 touchdown in this game. Pretty amazing between these two offenses that can put some points on the board, and neither offense has been able to get into the end zone in this game.
Yeah, it's been just a defensive afternoon, and we say it over and over again how much of a war this game is going to be, how Georgia Southern Chad Lunster specifically doesn't want to lose to Troy for a 4th consecutive year. And also, Shai Werts has never beaten Troy either. That's the one Sun Belt team that he has yet to beat in his career.
Well, he's going to try to do that here in the second half, but the Eagles going to have to put the ball in the end zone, something they have not yet been able to do. 1 defensive touchdown and 4 field goals total between these two teams so far today. Hood goes in motion, and Wirtz is going to keep it, has Hood to pitch to, and he does. And Hood steps out of bounds at about the 31 as the Eagles got 6 on that play.
Caleb Hood was a guy last season that started to come into his own as a freshman. Now a sophomore. Great job on the pitch by Wirtz. Good blocking on the outside. Was able to get a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Hood out of McDonough, Georgia, played at Eagles Landing Christian, a single-A private school that's won a state record 5 consecutive state championships. Actually started his college career at Air Force Prep before landing at Georgia Southern. 2nd down and 4 now from the 31. Marshall up in the gap, coming with a blitz. He squeezes through. They run past him. Right up the middle. Big run, Gerald Green. There he goes. Inside the 20. Gerald Green inside the 10. Touchdown, Georgia Southern. Well, that's what Gerald Green did so often back in his days at East Coweta High School. And the young man getting a chance to showcase his talents today as the Eagles have pulled within 1.
Wow, what a beautiful run up the middle. Was untouched. Just great speed by Green. His first touchdown of the year, as you talked about. He only had 2 rushes prior to this game. And with J.D. King and Wesley Kennedy out, other guys have needed to step up. And Gerald Green did exactly that. And now we're an extra point away from this game being tied.
Rayner with the PAT. It is up, and it is good, and we are tied at 13. How about that on a day where J.D. King and Wesley Kennedy are sidelined with injuries. They've got the guitar out for Gerald Green, and he has already stroked some sweet music here today with a 69-yard touchdown run.
And a unique story on how the guitar celebration came to play. It started with a handshake for running backs. J.D. King talked about in the weekly press conference on Monday. It started out with a running back handshake, and a lot of guys saw and they wanted to be a part of it. And as time passed by, they got a guitar to kind of add to the celebration, and they got to keep it fun. And that's the fun that the Eagles have needed, which it seemed like has been a frustrating first half and first part of the third quarter, unable to find the end zone. But a big play there by Gerald Green, nearly untouched, going to the house.
Well, they certainly need an infusion of energy and enthusiasm right there with the injuries to King and Kennedy, and Gerald Green provides it with that 69-yard touchdown run, and now we're tied at 13. First time we've been tied all day. And the kickoff, Geiger going to race up to the 19-yard line and field it. And Geiger driven out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And that's where Troy goes on offense here in our first tie of the day. Let's take another look at the movement up front and the big hole that was opened up right there, and a clearing block right there at the end by number 58, Aaron Pryor.
Yeah, and he was able to get that block, and then Gerald Green able just to use his speed. And now we're tied. So Troy, after a mishap, now looking at that field goal at the moment where we should have gotten a touchdown.
It took us 37 minutes to get our first offensive touchdown of the day. Geiger in motion. They're going to pitch to Geiger. And Geiger does not get back to the line of scrimmage as Quint Williams makes the tackle behind the line.
We'll see here, Troy continues with that hurry-up offense.
So second down and 11 now from the 29. Heavy pressure coming off the edge. Free gets it out of there. Has a man open, and it's broken up at the last minute. Free underthrew McLean, and Duncan nearly had an interception on that play.
And all the coaches talked about how important it was to have Kendra Duncan back out there on the field. He missed the first 4 games due to an injury, and even when he came back, he wasn't fully 100%, but that's big. Being the quarterback of the defense, being able to see that, almost an interception for him.
Heartbeat of the defense is what Lunsford called him. Third down and 11 now. Free, and he put it out there a little bit further. They would have got 6 on the play. Pocket breaks down. He's being chased, running. Free throws on the run, and it's broken up. Daryl Baker steps right in front of Eford that time. 2 big plays by the secondary. Duncan and Baker back to back, and it's time for Troy to punt.
And this is really the first time this afternoon that we've seen life pumped in here in Paulson Stadium. The sideline juice is starting to flow for the Eagles, and the fans are starting to get a little more excited. A great throw by Jacob Free, running out of the pocket. But Daryl Baker, former safety, now back to playing cornerback. It's another great stop on the defense from the Eagles.
Eagles put 2 back for this punt. That is a rainbow shot off the foot of Martin that Hood retreats and gets at the 15-yard line. That was a rainmaker right there had we had some clouds to bring the rain.
My goodness, what a high punt on that 4th down. So now all the way back towards the 15-yard line, and now we can see if the Eagles offense start to have more of these big plays, especially with the run from Gerald Green opening things up. It may give Shy Wirtz an opportunity to run some extra plays, get some extra options downfield.
Well, on a day where Wirtz needed just 57 yards to become the Sun Belt Conference's all-time quarterback rushing leader, he's actually added to his total he needs. He's -3 rushing the ball today, so he now needs 60 yards to break the record. 1st and 10. Pass is thrown by Wirtz. It's complete to Murray, and Malik Murray with his second grab of the ball game gets dropped at the 24-yard line. Pettis and Harris were there. Pettis, of course, with the pick 6 earlier in the game for Troy.
I think this is when Bob the Best, the offensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, starts to open the playbook a little bit more.
Wirtz now 9 of 10 passing for right at 50 yards. 51 yards to be precise. 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. We're tied at 13. Winner today's ball game picks up their third Sun Belt win of the season. Murray goes in motion behind the line. And Wirtz hands off on the dive play, and Logan Wright gets a couple of yards on the play and will pick up the first down.
And Bob the Best talked about this week. You know, he loved to see more consistency, being more precise and disciplined, and they love when they play fast. You know, that's one thing that didn't happen in their one loss against Coastal Carolina a few weeks ago. They didn't play fast, but after seeing that big play and that big run from Gerald Green, now being able to run a couple more plays, getting back in their rhythm and their groove.
As a matter of fact, Coach DeBest said, hey, I looked out at us playing against Coastal Carolina. I thought we were running in concrete. He might have said the same thing today until that big run that Gerald Green just broke off a few moments ago. Wirtz pitches to Murray. Murray down the sideline and shoved out of bounds at the 43, and that'll be another first down for the Eagles.
There is a flag on the play that was thrown out. We'll see where it's at. Just a good read from Wirtz. Gets that outside linebacker to pull in and then pitches it out to Murray.
Holding. Offense. Number 9. 10 yards from spot to foul.
Now they move back.
Yeah, that happens a lot in this offense. With the option offense, you're going to get those holding calls on the wide receivers, and Darion Anderson gets flagged right there, negates the first down.
That was one thing that the Eagles did not want. Started to get some progress, moving the ball downfield, and kind of like I said earlier, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back in that situation.
272 total yards for the Eagles today, 221 on the ground. 14 first downs, time of possession right at 28 minutes. We're under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Play action. Wirtz now going to scramble. Wirtz across the 30, 35, and up to the 40-yard line, and Wirtz got about 11 on the play and picks up the first down.
Well, once again, Wirtz with plenty of time in the pocket. Couldn't find anyone downfield, so he keeps himself. Had some space on his right side. Just enough to get the first down, running out of bounds.
That'll be a 14-yard pickup officially for Wirtz, and a first down for the Eagles at the 40, their 15th first down of the game. They've got double the total of Troy. Hood goes in motion. Handoff right up the middle, Gerald Green, and he slices through the defense. A nice gainer of about 8 yards up to the 47. Let's call it 7 yards instead. Green really getting an opportunity. Had a chance to see this young man play in high school in the city of Atlanta, East Coweta, south of the city. He was a big-time star for Coach John Small's team, and first time he's had an opportunity to show himself here in Statesboro today, and he's played well. Second down and 3. And Green again busts loose, and he nearly went again. A hit by Pettis brought him to his knees at the 40-yard line, or else he would have gone for another touchdown.
And you see now that's just with the plays being opened up for Shy Wirtz, first going with the pitch on the outside, that's freeing up opportunities in the inside to run up the middle. And Gerald Green, once again, just good blocking, especially from Aaron Dowdell, the left guard. And Green doing the rest.
A couple of Southside guys. Dowdell started at Creekside High School in Fairburn, just south of Atlanta. So 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. You know Coach Lunsford's got to be really happy on a day his seniors are injured. You got a redshirt freshman stepping up and getting the job. This is a free play for Georgia Southern. They crank it downfield in a jump ball, and it's caught, and another flag is out. What a catch downfield by Najee Thompson.
They just got it all right there. Offsides, free play, what a catch, and then the pass interference more than likely. That might bring the ball all the way down to the 1, depending on how it goes.
What a play by Najee Thompson. The defender draped all over him, and he still makes the grab. And what a headsy play by Shai Werts.
The result of the play is a catch. Offside defense, pass interference defense. Both of those fouls are declined. First down.
And that's what you get with a senior quarterback making his 42nd start. He saw the jump, offsides. I'm going to take a shot downfield.
Oh, my.
And a Sports Center top 10 nominee catch right there by Najee Thompson, one-handed before the ball could hit the ground.
Wow. That's all I can really say. Just what a catch right there.
First and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Keeper, Werts, touchdown, Georgia Southern.
There is the Georgia Southern offense that has been so efficient throughout the season. It took some time. A couple of big plays and Shai Werts that I want to keep it myself. Bounces to the outside. Leaps into the end zone for a touchdown.
Just the third rushing touchdown of the season for Shai Werts. And it is 19-13. Rayner on for the PAT. And the Eagles lead is 7. Georgia Southern up a touchdown late in the third quarter. Najee Thompson with his first catch of the season, a Sports Center top 10 nominee to set up the Eagles' game-leading touchdown.
I'm still trying to figure out how he caught this. I mean, take a look. Good coverage, slips out, just gets his left hand and almost scoops it after it hits him.
I mean, he was practically tackled while he was trying to make the reception and still made it. And now Geiger from the 10-yard line, and he comes up to the 27. And so now Troy playing from behind. 20-13, the Eagles with the lead.
And now the pressure is going to be all on Jacob Free. I mean, throughout this game, the Eagles defense have done a solid job just getting hits on him. But now he's got to play with a purpose. You know, you're down by a touchdown. Your previous possession that led to a field goal should have been a touchdown. Now looking back, so you can't make any mistakes here.
So 1st and 10 for Troy. Here comes the blitz. And flag out on the play as Vidal gets back to the line of scrimmage, and we'll check the penalty flag.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 94. Be a 15-yard penalty. The ball carrier can stay in the game. Result of the foul. First down.
That was big C.J. Wright with the face mask. That's not what you want to have if you're the Eagles defense, you know, after having a great offensive possession, 2 great offensive possessions. Now you need your defense to get a 3 and out and get a stop here.
So 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Jamontez Woods goes in motion for Troy. Here comes the blitz from Wilson, the safety. Got him. Quarterback sack for the Eagles back at the 35-yard line. And it was the safety, Anthony Wilson, coming from deep in the secondary to get the sack or help produce it.
Yeah, was able to make his way through. Here you see again, right there. Wilson got hit but stayed with it and was able to give his teammates a chance to make a sack. Zion McGee along with Raymond Johnson on the stop.
So 2nd down, that was a sack that they're going to split 3 ways. Here comes the blitz from Harris this time. Georgia Southern dialing up the pressure. They keep Free open. Jump ball intercepted at the 31-yard line by Canteen. Canteen with with his team-leading third pick of the season, and the Eagles got the ball back.
High praise from Derek Canteen this season from his coaches. Scott Sloan talked about how every week he keeps on getting better and better. Had back-to-back picks against UMass and Coastal Carolina, made a key defensive stop against South Alabama, and there you see here, you had double coverage because Duncan was back there too, but Canteen leaping up to get that pick.
And there is no doubt the pressure that the Eagles have been able to bring has really impacted Free today.
I'll tell you what, Chad Lunsford gave Canteen a couple of comparisons to one Kendall Vildor about how their play styles are similar a bit, and Canteen's having an incredible season so far as a redshirt freshman.
Well, if that's the case, Canteen can count on getting paid to play this game one day. Green on the carry right there, and he gets picked 2 yards on the play.
And I don't know if you noticed there on the replay there, Matt, but Kendrick Duncan made his way back there. He saw it. He had his hand up saying, go get it, man. You got it.
So Free now 16 incompletions out of his 29 attempts. He's been sacked once, and officially 9 quarterback pressures for the Eagles today defensively as we're in our final minute of this third quarter. Hood in motion and handoff up the middle. And Gerald Green getting a chance to be in the spotlight today. His 69-yard touchdown run earlier in this quarter really kind of sprung this game open for Georgia Southern as the Eagles now lead. And Harris down on the ground, having trouble getting up, now gets up on his feet with 19 seconds to play in the quarter.
Well, you got to remember, in the Eagles' first game against Campbell, they had over 30 players inactive, so a lot of younger guys had to come out and get some playing time and step up. And you're really starting to see that from a couple of these guys. Anthony Wilson, that really helped produce that sack prior to the interception. Canteen with the pick. Jill Green with a couple of rushes here, especially the big touchdown run.
That's going to be the final play of this third quarter as the Eagles are going to let time run out. Georgia Southern finally breaks through, scores a couple of touchdowns in this third quarter, and turns their deficit into a 20-13 lead, and big plays by the defense. And Gerald Green with the 69-yard touchdown run. Play the guitar, young man. We go to the fourth. It's 20-13 Eagles. Georgia Southern getting some juice between quarters, and now a 20-13 lead, Danny, as the Eagles scored twice in that third quarter to take the lead.
They call it sideline juice, and definitely there here in the second half, and now the Eagles look to close things out here in the fourth quarter. It's still a one-possession game, but it seems like the momentum is now all for the Eagles.
So third down as we start the fourth quarter. Hood goes in motion to the far sideline and works. Going to drop back and throw. Heavy rush, going to take a sack back at the 25-yard line as he got overrun by T.J. Harris.
Well, it's good to see T.J. Harris is okay, was slow to get up prior to the end of the third quarter, and shows it by getting his first sack on the season, taking down Shai Wertz.
So that's the second sack of the day for the Trojans to go along with their 6 tackles for loss, and it forces Georgia Southern to give the ball back here in the opening minute of this fourth quarter. Back on to kick. Ball goes back to him, no rush. They're setting up the return. Tez Johnson takes it at the 34. One man misses, but not that one, and a flag out. So likely a penalty coming up on Troy here, and that's going to back him up from the 35.
We'll see what it is. Tez Johnson was able to make a man miss, but there could be a penalty from that.
Yeah, a lot of times in that situation, I'm guessing blocking the back.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 20, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, I believe that's DK Billingsley. You know, Troy has a lot of their running backs on special teams.
Yeah. And Billingsley was their starting running back last year after B.J. Smith got hurt for the season. You see Jacob Free, a much different day today than the one he had last week, and he threw for 400-plus at Arkansas State. Only 124 with 1 pick, 16 incompletions out of his 29 attempts. But for all that, Troy is still down only 1 score. They have not scored an offensive touchdown today, and B.J. Smith going in reverse. Stoned at the line of scrimmage.
He got caught behind the lineman, unable to get out from behind and move it upfield. A 1-yard loss.
So 2nd down and 11. Incomplete. Reggie Todd. Todd does not have a catch today, believe that or not. 23 catches on the season for 337 coming in, and Free has not been able to get him the ball.
And you wonder if Troy's offense needs to slow things up instead of going with that hurry-up offense.
So 3rd down and 11. Troy 4 of 11 on 3rd down today. Free, they set up the screen pass to B.J. Smith, has a man to beat. Beat one, but not that one. Adcock there to drop him in his tracks, and it's 4th down.
Great recovery. Adcock was called for a flag earlier in the game. Able to make up for making a big 3rd down stop. What a catch by B.J. Smith just to keep the play alive. And Chris Harris got first contact on Smith, and Adcock followed up.
So Martin on to kick again. Martin 4 punts, 52-plus average today. Line drive kick and a hit at the 41. Again, take one of those long bounces. He's had about 20 yards on a couple of his punts on bounces. And it's effective as it puts Georgia Southern at the 17. That's where they'll be on offense when we get back. Scores around the Sun Belt on this Saturday afternoon. A couple of finals now to report. Georgia State blows out ULM in Atlanta 52-34. Cornelius Brown, 3 touchdown passes for the Panthers in that one. Louisiana came back from a 6-0 halftime deficit to beat Arkansas State 27-20. App State and Texas State just underway in San Marcos. And later on tonight on ESPNU, you have the 15th ranked and undefeated Coastal Carolina Chanticleers playing host to South Alabama. Here we have 12:38 left in regulation and a 20-13 lead for Georgia Southern as they start back on offense at their own 17-yard line. Right up the middle, Logan Wright bulls his way to the 31-yard line as he picks up 14 on the first carry of this drive.
And now that the other running backs for Georgia Southern have started to get in rhythm, you may see more of this. It's a great job by Wright, going up the middle like you said. 1st down Eagles.
Wright now 11 carries for 75 yards today. Wright had only 136 yards rushing in the first 6 games for Georgia Southern. So a big day for him, big day for Gerald Green, big days from a couple of running backs with J.D. King out with an injury, and so is Wesley Kennedy. Wright gets it again, and Wright this time not a whole lot of room to run. Javon Solomon, the bandit, making the tackle, and about a yard on the play, 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, even though the Eagles have a 1-possession lead and, the energy has been brought back up here from the 3rd quarter, it doesn't mean anything if you can't convert here on these drives and try to increase the lead, because Troy could still come back. There's still plenty of time. And I would expect the Eagles here just to continue to take more time off the clock and not give the Trojans much time on offense.
A 34-minute to 13-minute time of possession advantage for Georgia Southern in this game. And Wirtz tries to get away from Harris and will not be able to as he rides him hard into the ground. And now it's going to be 3rd down and long.
It seemed like at the very last moment, Shy wanted to make that pitch, but couldn't do so. Taking a look here, you had Green back there, and instead keeps himself, and great job by Harris, able to hang on and get the stop.
Harris with his 5th tackle of the game. He also has a tackle for loss. It's going to be 3rd down. Eagles doing a really good job of bleeding the clock right here, taking a lot of time in the huddle. Play clock down to 7. Swing pass out here to LaRoche, and play got blown up. He ran into his own man. Murray was occupied with the defender Harris and Harris shoved Murray back into LaRoche. It's 4th down and a 3-and-out here for the Eagles. Or not quite a 3-and-out, but they have to give it up at the 32.
Yeah, take a look there. Harris was pushing Murray back. LaRoche just in the line and had nowhere to go.
So more like a 4-and-out. They picked up a 1st down on the first play, and then they went 3 straight plays with nothing. So Beck, heavy rush. They come after him. He gets it out of there. A spiraling kick. Tez Johnson calls fair catch. He might have been touched again. Rashad Bird's going to down it at the 32-yard line. And words exchanged between Tez Johnson and Rashad Bird, but it looked like Johnson might have actually been touched with the ball still in the air or after it had bounced, but they did not throw a flag.
It looked close, but nonetheless, another opportunity for Jacob Free. Here we'll see again. The fair catch was waived.
Yep, no contact. It was close.
It was close, very close. From
that
Thompson.
time, Najee Thompson was able to avoid the contact. So 1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line. Big hole up the middle. Jamontez Woods across the 50-yard line. Biggest gain of the day from scrimmage on a run for Troy up to the 46-yard line as Jamontez Woods, who had only 11 carries for 58 yards coming into the game, gets a big one right there for Troy. That's complete to Geiger setting up a screen, and Geiger gets dragged down from behind before he could bust it. That was McGee making the tackle, but another quick 1st down for Troy.
And they're going to continue with the hurry up, trying to get the Eagles defense off to a game.
Woods gets it again, and Jamontez Woods gets a couple of yards that time before he gets stopped at the 33. C.J. Wright there to help make the tackle.
We talked about the different running backs for Troy. Mainly it's B.J. Smith and Kimani Vidal, but giving Jamontez Woods a few opportunities. Also, you have D.K. Billingsley and Charles Strong you can go to as well.
2nd down. Line to gain is the 25. Eagles bringing the blitz with Chris Harris. Free fires, nearly intercepted. Reggie Todd stopped in his route, and Baker nearly had himself a pick.
2nd down and 8 yards to go.
You take a look here. Good amount of space, and yeah.
I don't know why Todd gave up on the route. The ball ended up being exactly where he should have been if he kept running.
Yeah, that's a mishap you don't want. Now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 8.
Blitz is coming. Bird got stopped. He stops and falls back into coverage and helped blow up that play. And Eford was the intended target, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, it seems like Free's going to stay out there. Troy 6 of 10 in 4th down conversions this year. At this point, you're down the touchdown. Why not?
Well, you're too far for a kicking game that's been erratic at best. This would be a 50-yard field goal. So Chip Lindsey going for it here on 4th down and 8. Eford in motion behind the line. Pressure's coming. Free stands in there, and it's broken up by Wilson. Wilson came around Eford and broke up the pass, and the ball goes over on down.
He just continues to go back to the field goal that Troy took earlier in the game where they could have scored a touchdown and they rushed it, especially in the second down play on the quarterback sneak attempt. And there's always going back to that moment, and it could be a whole different ball game.
So now a great opportunity as you take another look at the great defensive play by Anthony Wilson. Just comes around his back, did what great defensive backs do. There was some contact there. He had his back, had his arm on his back, but you hide it from the officials. They can't see that. Great savvy play there by Wilson to come around the receiver, make contact that the officials can't see, and break up the pass. So 1st and 10, ball at the 32-yard line. Big hard run right there by Gerald Green. He got stuck in the backfield, should have taken a loss, and gets 1 yard on the play.
And it was Carlton Marshall that stuck him in the backfield. That's the first time we've heard from Marshall in the second half. He did a great job in the first, but in the third quarter, Georgia Southern's offense woke up, had a couple of big plays, and now the defense will need to look to Marshall and a couple of other guys if they want to keep the Trojans with a chance to tie the game up.
Yeah, well, this is a very dangerous time for Troy because this is the time of game where the Georgia Southern offense typically is going to grind out the clock, and if not score points, just eat time off the clock. Wirtz back to pass, spins out of the rush, and dances to the outside and steps out of bounds at the 43 and got the first down. What a heady play by Shai Wirtz to pick up the first down. Knew exactly where the sticks were. Look at that time of possession. Nearly triple. 37 minutes for the Eagles. Less than 15 for Troy.
37 minutes and counting. Keep that in mind, Matt. With 7 minutes to go here in the fourth, they're going to take as much time as they can moving the ball downfield.
Troy's run only 48 plays offensively. They typically want to be up around 80. Hood with the grab, and Stewart drops him right in his tracks, right at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles will gladly take that, though. They prefer to get yardage, but it keeps the clock going.
And that's the one major thing right now. Don't give Troy any time when they get the ball back. And even if they can get it downfield and just kick a field goal, it still makes it a two-possession game, and Troy won't have as much time.
Oh, absolutely. A field goal at this time would be crushing. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 43. Keeper Wirtz, and Wirtz tripped as he tried to slip through the hole. That was Solomon who got a piece of him, but Wirtz picks up 4 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 6, and the clock goes under 6 minutes left in regulation.
He saw a little frustrated there that he couldn't get more, but 4 yards is just fine in this situation. As long as not moving backwards, always moving forward. Good job in the back on that stop.
I'd be shocked if the Eagles go to the air here. A running play will get the clock below 5 minutes. Pitch goes to LaRoche, and LaRoche will not pick up the first down. Great pursuit right there by Terrence Dunlap, the corner, and it's 4th down, and the Eagles going to have to give it up. But when they do, it'll be less than 5 minutes when Troy finally gets the ball back.
And I think Logan Wright didn't get out enough to make that block to give LaRoche some room. But this will be a chance for the Eagles to punt, and if Anthony Beck can keep that ball from rolling into the end zone and put the Trojans in a tough spot, that'll be great for Georgia Southern.
4 punts for a 39-yard average for Beck today. 4th and 6. And a long kick that sails past the 10-yard line, hits at the 1, and the Eagles bat it back, but it does not stay in the field of play and bounces back into the end zone for a touchback. So Troy will have the ball at the 20 with 4:36 to play when we get back. Back at Paulson Stadium, taking a look at the upcoming schedule for Georgia Southern back here at Paulson Stadium next Saturday, Texas State. That's 3:30 Eastern Time on ESPN+. Danny and I will be here with the call on that one.
And I'm looking forward to also not just Texas State, but the Eagles will head to Army. That'll be the first time they face Army and facing a familiar guy.
Yep.
And Jeff Monken, former head coach for the Eagles.
Absolutely. That'll be a big trip to West Point. One of those games got added after the fact because of COVID-19. And then you saw the schedule in December games that got pushed to December. Florida Atlantic and App State at the end of the season. The first 2 Saturdays in December. Those games scheduled earlier in the year but didn't get played.
Right. Was supposed to face Florida Atlantic in week 2 and had to push that one back. App State was going to be a midweek game, a big game normally here in Statesboro. And in that, it pushed the Sun Belt Conference Championship game back as well to December 19th.
2nd down and 11. Free going up top and incomplete, trying to connect with McLean. Step-for-step coverage by Canteen, and now it's 3rd down.
You know, once again, that time, instead of not throwing it far enough, Free overthrew his target, but still, Derek Canteen's done such a great job so far here throughout the afternoon, already with an interception, a couple of key defensive stops. He's done it all.
Yeah. Free, 21 incompletions today, 15 completions. Much different day than the one he experienced last Saturday in Jonesboro. Heavy rush, Free guns it, incomplete. Was looking for Reggie Todd. And it's 4th down, and Troy does have all 3 timeouts remaining. I would think they punt here. You don't want to give the ball up at the 19-yard line, which is chip shot field goal range. In essence, you surrender the game if you don't pick up the first down right here. So they do have the 3 timeouts remaining they can use on defense to try to get the ball back.
That would be the most likely decision, but keep in mind, Jack Martin, one of these punts that we saw, he's been on it, kicking the ball way downfield, so it's been another opportunity here right now.
Yeah, Martin's had a big day. 5 punts, 52.4 average, and this is a line drive skimmer that barely clears the ground and dead at the 48. So Martin's had a big day, but he has his worst punt of the day at the worst possible time. Final 3:42 coming up from Paulson when we get back. Remaining schedule for Troy, the big one with Coastal Carolina next Saturday, 11 o'clock Central Time on ESPNU. And then Middle Tennessee for a 2nd time, kind of like an NFL schedule. They beat Middle Tennessee State in their opener, 47-14 there. Now they'll have them at home 2 Saturdays from now.
Yeah, I think the big thing is both for Troy and Georgia Southern, they are 2 of the very few teams in the FBS being able to play full 12-game schedule. So big props to both athletic directors being able to have that happen this year.
Absolutely being aggressive in their scheduling. Shy Words, big run. Shy Words still dragging defender Stewart all the way down to the 22-yard line. A huge run by Shy Words right there. Could be a game clincher.
And that was Shy's biggest run of the afternoon. There was at one point where he had negative yardage, able to stay on his feet. Just get a couple of extra yards there.
That is a 27-yard run by Wirtz. That leaves him now just 12 away from becoming the all-time quarterback rushing leader in Sun Belt history.
Would not be surprised if he tries to run it again here to clinch that and potentially the win for the Eagles.
So 1st and 10. That was a backbreaker perhaps there by Shy Wirtz. Handoff goes to Wright. And Logan Wright, not much on the gain. Antonio Showers the tackle, and Troy has to use their first timeout.
I was about to say, this is where you need to use your timeouts, especially now at this point.
This will be a 30-second.
But why that run by Wirtz was such a crusher is it gets it immediately into field goal range for Alex Rayner. Right now you're talking about a less than 40-yard field goal, and Rayner already with 2 field goals today of 35 and 23 yards. He's 8 of 10 on the season. A field goal here by Rayner essentially puts the game out of reach.
Yeah, and that was the big thing. Even if Troy uses all 3 of their timeouts and get the 3 and out, you pretty much have to hope you can block the kick or hope that Rayner misses it in order to give yourself a chance to stay in this game. but a field goal would potentially seal the deal and give Georgia Southern their 5th win on the season.
Yeah, Danny, I would think that Georgia Southern's going to try to keep the ball in the middle of the field here between the hashes, just run in the middle.
Yeah, unless one of these guys can...
Yeah, you'd love to get the break and get a touchdown here, but you don't want to mess it up and miss the field goal opportunity either.
Right.
2nd down and 9. Wirtz taking all the time they can, and they're going to keep it with Wirtz, and Wirtz down to the 16-yard line over there on that left hash. And now it's going to be 3rd down, and Troy burns their 2nd timeout, and we'll take it with them. As time is running out on Troy as Georgia Southern tries to position for a game-clinching field goal. That 5 yards right there is what separates Georgia Southern from clinching the win here. If they get stopped on this down, they might reach for the field goal to put it away, or they might go for the 1st down, but a 1st down wins it for you without the need for the field goal. So 3rd down and 5 coming out of this timeout. Troy has 1 timeout remaining. And Wirtz going to hand off to Green. He didn't get close, and the timeout is used by Troy. It's their last, and now we'll see if the Eagles reach for the game-clinching field goal here.
And final timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
You don't want to risk anything at this moment. Just have Rayner go out there and go for the field goal. If you hit it, pretty much, you would say it seals the deal, but there's still 2:44 left, and given Troy's hurry-up offense, they can try for something downfield.
Well, they'd have to score a touchdown, and then they'd have to recover an onside kick and do it again.
Gerald Green on the run was stopped right up front. How about Gerald Green? Out of all the running backs that we've seen from Georgia Southern here this afternoon, Green, 10 rushes, 109 yards, had that big breakout touchdown in the 3rd quarter to really open things up for the Eagles.
But the purpose of that run right there by Green was to get the ball in the middle of the field for Rayner. This will be a 34-yard field goal to essentially clinch the victory. Rayner already with field goals today of 23 and 35 yards, and now a 34-yarder to try to seal the deal and improve Georgia Southern to 5-2 on the season. Snap goes back, placed down, kick is going to be no good, and Troy still has a chance. Wow, just the 3rd miss of the season for Alex Rayner, and Troy still in the ball game.
So it worked out for him. Was able to use all 3 of their timeouts, get a 3-and-out, and Rayner missed the field goal. So you got 240. You got to go a good bit downfield, about 80 yards exactly. Ball is placed on the 20. You got to hurry up offense, but you have no timeout. But you still have plenty of time, so you don't have to necessarily catch the ball and then go out the sideline.
No, 240 in this situation is an eternity. They've got all the time in the world, really. But Free has not had a great day. Georgia Southern's defense has harassed him all afternoon and brought pressure. Quick fire, complete to Geiger. That's a 5-yard pickup. But with so much time on the clock, 240, you're not in a huge rush here. They're always up tempo anyway.
And there you see just 13 seconds between snaps.
Free to the sideline. It is caught for the 1st down. The clock will continue to run as Todd did not get out of bounds. Stops briefly for the sticks to move, but once the sticks are set, the clock will go again.
Gain the 31-yard line, 1st down and 10 yards to go.
So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. The clock is going again.
I think Georgia Southern rushing to call a timeout of their own. They have all 3 of their timeouts.
Timeout.
Here in the
Georgia
4th.
Southern. First charge timeout.
So
Be
Georgia
a
Southern with the
30-second
timeout here
Henley.
to stop the momentum of Detroit Trojans. Troy still alive in this game despite the fact they have not scored an offensive touchdown today. Trying to do something on this final drive they have not accomplished in the first 58 minutes of this game, and that's put it in the end zone with their offense. The only touchdown for Troy today coming on that pick 6 by Del Pettis, plus 2 field goals.
And they haven't really had much time with the ball. Just over 16 minutes time of possession for the Trojans.
They have run 52 total plays today to Georgia Southern 72. The big quarter for the Eagles today, that third quarter in which they scored 2 touchdowns. The big run by Gerald Green tying up the game. Pass thrown to Todd underneath. He's got room to run, and Todd quickly scampers out of bounds at the 45-yard line, stopping the clock at 2:04.
Wise decision, and just a couple of small plays here and there, and then you go for a medium type of play, getting about 10-plus yards.
Yep. Now just 55 yards away. Clock is running again. Free fires with a man in his face, and that's complete to Lacey, and another first down, and now Troy in business in the 34-yard line.
This is going to be a big test for Jacob Free. You know, it was a close game when he first came in against Georgia State, kind of breezed through against Arkansas State, but now has to dial it in.
Georgia Southern scrambling to get personnel on and off the field. Free fires, and it is caught. That's going to be a completion by McLean at the 28-yard line.
Chad Lunsford upset. Thought he was out of bounds. That was an incomplete pass.
Clock stopped, 98 seconds to go. And timeout called by Georgia Southern.
The ruling on the field is a catch. The previous play is under further review.
So not a timeout called by Georgia Southern. This is a timeout to review the play.
Well, it was pretty close. And once again, you just had great coverage by Derek Canteen. This is an important review.
No doubt about it. It's the difference in where the ball is being placed. Right now, the call on the field was catch by McLean and out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And our referee, Jeremy Parker, on the headset with the review team. That was quick.
The ruling on the field stands for a catch.
So 2nd down and 2 coming up. And here's another look at it right here.
Yeah, caught, tiptoes.
Not 1 foot, he got both down.
Got both of them in, so that's definitely a catch. No wonder why it was so fast.
Yeah, he got both toes down, no question about it. It was a great catch by McLean, who started his career as a quarterback. He was a quarterback at Tulane before shifting to wide receiver. 2nd down and 2, ball at the 27-yard line. Free, stands in the pocket, guns it, and it is going to be incomplete. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Clock stopped. 93 seconds left in regulation.
You know, if it being 3rd down and 2, I wouldn't be surprised if Troy just goes for an inside run just to get the first down and then resets things.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. You still have plenty of time to do that. 3rd down right here. That's B.J. Smith lined up next to Free. Did they give the ball to him here? Nope, they're going to throw it. Pass complete to McLean on an inside slant. That's a first down at the 15-yard line.
Well, there was no to go for the end zone anyway, so a brief slant pass to find McLean gets the first down.
Ball spotted at the 16. They're moving the chains. Free going up top for McLean. Jump ball, contact, incomplete. Great coverage there by Canteen. They were battling with the ball in the air. Now it's going to be 2nd down.
Another big challenge. I mean, Canteen made a great stop against South Alabama last week. Looking to do it again. Already with an interception, as we said earlier.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. Running out of time here. Troy trying a last-ditch effort to tie this game. Pressure coming off the edge. Free goes to B.J. Smith. Threw it too low for him. Now it's 3rd down. Running that wheel route, and B.J. Smith was open momentarily, but not a great angle for Free to make the completion.
Seemed like Smith also kind of tripped up a bit, and now it's 3rd and 10, so you don't have to go for a touchdown. You got to get the ball across the 6-yard line.
3rd down and 10. Trojans held without an offensive touchdown all day. Can they get one right here at the end and force overtime? Backing up and throwing, high ball, intercepted at the 3-yard line. Canteen, or was it Wilson? It was Canteen. Flag down, there's a fight going on the field at the 41-yard line. A fight has broken out at the 41-yard line, and now the officials step in quickly to break it up, and the Georgia Southern coaches jump out there to push their players back from getting involved. Flag down on the field at the 19. Canteen with the 2nd pick of the day, and perhaps the game sealer.
Wow, what a great stop, and now you got to hope that penalty doesn't add or take away anything, but just what a great interception by Canteen. Great tip up front, resulting in Canteen making the easy interception, his 2nd in the game, his 4th on the season.
Let's check the call. Let's check the flag to see if the play stands. I'm guessing that it does. The flag came out late. I think it has to do with the fight that broke out.
The result of the play is an interception. During that play, personal foul on the return team with a 15-yard penalty. 1st down, Georgia Southern.
And there's where the fight started.
You see C.J. Wright was just trying to make a block on free in case Canteen was going to send it downfield, and then it got physical, and everyone making their way out to break it up. Great tip as well by Raynard Ellis.
32, Georgia Southern. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
So it will send the Eagles back a little bit, half the distance to the goal, but nonetheless, it's Georgia Southern ball. You just got to kneel it out, and that should be game.
So Canteen, on a day where the defense has been the big story for Georgia Southern, comes up with his 2nd pick, as you mentioned, and Georgia Southern, if they just kneel this out, will pick up their 5th win of the season and improve to 3-2 in the Sun Belt. Eric Canteen's interception inside the 5-yard line thwarts Troy's last attempt to try to score and force overtime. And now the Eagles enter into their victory formation. Wirtz takes a knee. And Georgia Southern, urged by their head coach, Chad Lunsford, to take it personal. This 3-game losing streak to Troy told his guys, I want you to take it personally. We don't lose 3 conference games in a row. Today they will snap that 3-game losing streak to the Troy Trojans.
And had a lot to get through in order to get there, with the absence of Wesley Kennedy, the injury to J.D. King, having multiple running backs have to come in and help pick up the pace. Logan Wright, Matt LaRoche, Gerald Green with the big touchdown run in the 3rd, and now it feels like a big weight was lifted off the shoulders of Chad Lunsford.
And Georgia Southern improves to 4-0 at Paulson Stadium this season with a hard-fought 20-13 victory over the Troy Trojans. Gerald Green, who had only 2 carries the entire season, has the big run that ties the game, the 69-yard touchdown run that tied the game. And then Shai Wirtz scores the game winner in that 3rd quarter as Georgia Southern wins this one by a final score of 20-13. Wirtz, 85 yards in the air. He was able to add 50 yards on the ground. Gerald Green, though, 10 carries, 109, and the 69-yard touchdown run.
And think about this as well. The 1 incompletion by Shai Wirtz resulted in the pick 6 for Troy.
That's right.
Just another dramatic finish here in Statesboro.
So Georgia Southern now 5-2 on the season, 3-2 in the Sun Belt. Trojans drop to 4-3, 2-2. Eagles back home next week against Texas State, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN+. And now for my partner Danny Waugh, our director Doug Thompson, our producer Colin Cruz, our executive producer Art Berger. I'm Matt Stewart. So long from Paulson Stadium, where the Georgia Southern Eagles soar to a 2013 victory over Troy.